All right, everyone, it's your boy, the Failed Author. Today we have a special video. We are running it back, all the way back to 2011. Quite a good game we're playing here today, Battlefield 3. 2011 was a good year for video games, if you ask me. And one of my most favorite and memorable games was, in fact, Battlefield 3. And I got this because there was no way at the time I was going to play Modern Warfare 3. As much as I love Modern Warfare 2, the thought of playing another game where quick-scoping dominated, it just wasn't for me. So when the Battlefield 3 trailer launched, it was quite a big deal. I had played Battlefield 19, was it 42 or 43? Whatever the small expansion was, just the one map one on that gen, was it PlayStation 3, that era. I know it was on PC, and I played some early Battlefield with a friend, and they were always so fun, and I thought, hey, this is my time to shine. I'm not getting Modern Warfare 3. I'm not dealing with the quick scoping, and I switched to Battlefield for that kind of COD cycle, which was a thing back in the day, yearly COD cycle, as we know it still exists today. And I gotta say, this was the right choice. Me and the friends, my brother and my best friend, we played the ever-loving crud out of this game. And I'm using, this is probably my favorite gun in first-person shooter history. And through its entirety, I loved the 870. I thought it was so awesome. I thought everything about it, the way it looked, the way it sounded, the way it was versatile, the way you could dominate with a pump shotgun was really cool, which most games, including this one, it's always some sort of semi-auto shotgun. Modern Warfare 2 is a good example of that, the AA-12, and this game suffered from the same problem. The AA-12 was so dominant that it was frustrating. But before I get way too into this, I just want to say, everyone who has followed the account, the recent subscribers, thank you for subscribing, thanks for coming along, and I'm posting not too regularly, but definitely weekly, it feels like now, nostalgic game clips, Modern Warfare 2, classic CODs. I'm dipping my toes into Battlefield 3. This is actually a win on Rush, which is Damavand Peak, which is probably, besides Metro, the most famous map. And thank you, everyone, for following along, listening to the ranting shenanigans of a madman. We've been posting some cool stuff recently. I know I've gotten a few nukes in the last little bit of Modern Warfare 2, which is surprisingly hard. And I know some people will say it's really easy to do, and I just don't agree, especially if you're a casual gamer like me. It's really not that easy. But here we are playing Battlefield 3. Enough about that. But again, thank you everyone for following along. Like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate everything. Let me know in the comments if you want to see any specific gameplay too. I have been thinking about posting an entire run of Banjo-Kazooie, just going level by level, kind of like a more like a Let's Play format. I think I might do that just because I know it's something that I would really enjoy. And, you know, let's be real. If you're doing something that you enjoy, then it's going to be better. And I never do anything I don't particularly like. But thanks again. Here we are in Battlefield 3. Also, go check out me and Mr. Vicious Bean's new Pokemon channel. If you like Pokemon cards, we have an account dedicated totally to Pokemon. It's called The Two Trainers, or just Two Trainers from Lavender Town. I'll link it in my About page on this channel if you like it. But here we are using the 870 on Rush. We're in that awkward transition. If you notice, we did get one of the MCOMs, which is cool. You know, this was probably my third or fourth time trying to play Battlefield 3, and I couldn't quite figure out how to make anything work, but I found a Rush game, Damavand Peak, and here we are actually doing pretty good. And we're being a team player, not just trying to get kills. You don't really use the 870 on larger maps if you're trying to get kills. If you're trying to do that, you're going to have a bad time. Sure, you could use the slugs as the different ammo type, and they can shoot farther, but you're talking about a lot of two-hit kills, and it's just not, it's not going to be as easy. And I was never super proficient with a lot of the weapons. I would say the 870 and the AS-Vol were my two favorite weapons, and I used them religiously. I did like the UMP-45 as well. I would always kind of stay with those, I don't know if they call them like the operator weapons, the ones that you could use on every class. I usually stayed within those, but I did like playing the medic the most. Something about the unlimited health is always super enticing, and the defibrillators are so busted, especially when you're playing with a squad. It always made a really good tool to have in the old tool belt. So here we are about to do the legendary Damavand Peak jump. If you've played Battlefield 3, you know this, you love it. It's great, it's fantastic, we love it. And I love it too. Rush was a game type that I'm trying to think of like the COD equivalent, but I can't quite think of it off the top of my head. Like, like I guess Headquarters is, kind of similar, right? But it's not in the, obviously, like, this is a Battlefield game. Rush and Conquest being the two most memorable and probably my most two played, though I do think that I really stuck towards Rush when I was playing with squads with friends. If I wanted to play something different, if it was just me, I usually just hop into Team Deathmatch, something like that. I know there's like a free-for-all kind of bit too that is pretty fun as well. And I apologize if you're hearing a lot of banging. The roof of my house is actually getting rebuilt, and it's getting solar, so there's a lot of clanging and banging going on. But you can see the 870 putting in work, and I gotta say, it was just so nice to see that this game is still being played, because I know it has like a loyal following, and I know the COD servers just got fixed, but people have been playing this game consistently since 2011, and that should really tell you how well this game is. It's timeless, and I played Battlefield 4, and I could say something about Battlefield 4 wasn't the same as Battlefield 3. It felt like there was some bullet latency issues that I just didn't like, and that's fine, because I had a lot of fun with Battlefield 4, and, this one still has my heart, right? Battlefield 3 will always have a little special place in the failed author's heart. And speaking of being a failed author, my first book is set to be released hopefully the end of this month, possibly September. If you're interested, let me know. It's coming out, and maybe I won't be the as failed author. Maybe it'll be just the slightly failed author. We're hoping here. That's the goal, at least. But there was just so much to do in Battlefield. All of the environments being so unique and very distinct from each other, as well as the destruction capabilities that the engine that the game runs in itself was so fun. Seeing what you could destroy and what you couldn't do, and the ability to climb most everything and get to different vantage points. It's just something that I haven't really encountered since then. And again, I don't play a ton of online multiplayer games anymore. As you can see, this channel, I'm such a nostalgia slut. I'm still playing all these old games. Of course, that tank, I don't even know what I was thinking there. Just absolutely sent me back to the gulag, the Shadowrun attention duelists. We're not recovering from that one, but it is what it is. And I just think that there's this one part of gamers, this segment, that goes all the time. They go, wasn't blank time better? And like, we all get nostalgic and we all get in our feelings, right? I am guilty as charged, and I have said similar things all the time, like, man, remember that thing that was so much better and so much more fun? But when we're talking about these classic games, they're still available to play. So I can't stand when, for ages, it felt like the last 5 years, the Call of Duties, it was like all the gamers bitching about it, talking about how it's so bad. And I'm like, well, go back and play the old ones. There's literally nothing stopping you. And now with the matchmaking servers being fixed, being upgraded, being usable, that you can play them, there's really no excuse to say, oh, well, it was so much better then, okay? Like, there's a big difference. If you're talking about an NES game, like, I understand if you're wanting to play on, like, OEM, like, original consoles, yeah, that's going to have some problem. But you can emulate all that crud on your cell phone. So, like, the nostalgic aspect of that part, like, the barrier of entry is pretty small. Most of us have smartphones. Most of the planet has smartphones, so we can get there. But when you're talking, like, Battlefield and you're talking the classic CODs, I mean, you can go get a used Xbox One relatively inexpensive, right? So you can do it. And what I'm saying is, if you're wanting to do that, you should, because it does send a message to the developers. If you log on to Black Ops 1 or Modern Warfare 3 any day of the week, you're sometimes seeing 100 plus, and especially in Black Ops, almost 200,000 players playing it. That game came out in 2010, 13 years ago, and it's still having, let's be real, some new players get into it, because I'm sure people are seeing, YouTubers, or just hearing about it, or looking up lists, saying what good games there are, and now they're thinking, I should try it myself. And if they're able to do that with a player base of 100 plus thousand, they're going to get a positive experience generally, right? And it's great. It's awesome to see that. And the same lies within Battlefield 3. Now they just have like a real dedicated, and rightfully so. This game is so fantastic. I would put this in my top 10. I have no clue what happened right there. It's so goofy. I would put this in the top 10. Definitely shooters of all time. It might creep into my top 10 favorite games of all time. And maybe if it's not top 10, it's top 15, right? It's just so fantastic. And look at even today, these graphics hold up pretty well. And we're looking, especially that jump. I remember looking at Battlefield 4 when I purchased it, and mind you, that was like, I believe, a launch title. If it wasn't a launch title for the PS4, Xbox One, it was pretty damn close. And we're looking at this, and this is still not too bad, even compared to Battlefield 4, which was years later. Which should show you why, possibly, you know, this is looked back fondly when it came out. If you remember the ads for the game, it was trying to show like how lifelike and realistic it was. And I thought I did a good job. Like, obviously it was not. Like, 1v1 real, you know, images being, you know, like, no one is going to look at this and be like, oh, this is not a video game. Like, obviously it's a video game. That guy trying to blow me up with that anti-tank rocket was so funny. You could see him, like, trying to figure out, will this kill me or will I just die? It's just so goofy. And this is one thing I kind of liked in Battlefield 3, even though it's annoying when it happens. You notice we killed each other at the same time. I mean, like, it does make sense, I guess, but it's always a little frustrating when that does happen. But the RPK, I mean, that's kind of a challenging gun to use, so we gotta give the man a little credit here. I haven't played Battlefield 3 too often. I only have about one other gameplay where I played in a rush and I won. I don't know if I'll throw that one up. I might, but I definitely wanted to get this up. There's this part of me, and especially if you're watching this far and you're listening, which kudos to you for listening to me rant for this long, but there's this part of me that looks at YouTube and the videos that get posted as this real cool catalog of your life. And I've had many a YouTube account, and I wish that I hadn't gotten rid of so many things that I've done, because now I can't look back at those time periods and years of my life and go, oh yeah, I remember that, this, and be able to watch them and listen to myself. And I wanted to, it's so crazy because I remember being, you know, late high school and seeing when YouTube's like video game kind of portion blew up and people were recording themselves and you know, like everyone's like conceited in that, like, well, I can play video games, great, I should do that, right? Well, I don't think like I'm a great video game player, but I think I can, you know, play, you know, competently enough where it's like semi-entertaining, and then I'm doing it more for, I want to be able to go, you know, 20 years from now, like, remember how great Battlefield 3 was? Or remember that time we got a nuke in Modern Warfare 2 and it lives on forever? I know that sounds super cheesy and hokey, and again, I am a slut for nostalgia, but I'm so glad that this is going to live on YouTube forever. And I just wish, the only thing that I wish is I had a few, but I deleted them, but I had a classic Battlefield 3 match with me and my boys back in the day. And so, like, we'll just settle for this because it is what it is. But man, I gotta say, I'm so pumped that we, in 2023, hopped into a Battlefield 3 lobby, got into a rush match. I'm using the 870, my favorite class. I'm the medic, and we win. I destroyed some MCOMs in the process. We're out here getting XP, getting the attack ribbons. It's just like, it felt nice, to say the least, you know? But I'm gonna kind of end the commentary here. I really highly doubt anyone's watching. If they're watching at this point, please leave a comment and let me know that you did watch to this point. And if you want to see anything specific as far as Black Ops 1, 2, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Banjo-Kazooie, or even Battlefield 3, if I didn't say that already, let me know, because I do have access to all those and I can record them very easily. But this is your boy, The Failed Author. Thank you for listening. We out here playing Battlefield 3 in 2023. Who would have thunk? But not me, but I. But here we are, doing that darn dang thing. And the vehicles in this game, that's a whole nother story, but they are so awesome and so fun to use. I was never really good. I did like the Little Bird and the Tunguska. You remember the Tunguska. But this is The Failed Author signing off. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.